Hey folks, Bob Sharon here again. Concerning this custody battle, which was initiated April 20th, 2009. The law states that if no one sets a date for trial within 180 days, the case shall be dismissed. This right now is in the Superior Court, is in the, the Supreme Court, PA Supreme Court, and because they just don't follow the law. And as we all know, everybody must follow the law. These judges think they are better than the law. They can disregard the law. They can do whatever they want, and they have absolute immunity. Well, I got news for them. They don't. They don't. And this will come out as time progresses. Just wanted to make that perfectly clear to you, Judge Higgins, you, Judge Williamson, you, Judge Seabaum, and you, Judge Zulik. They took away all my rights to my kids effective November 9th, 2012. And they had no just cause. They had no evidence. They have nothing to even remotely state that I have abused my children, done anything negative towards them. Nothing. I'm still paying child support since November, even though I cannot see them. They took all my legal custody away. They took all my physical custody away. I have no rights to them whatsoever as of now. That's an unlawful order, and that, of course, is going to be nullified. They didn't take into account, after 3 years, I was ordered to take a psychological evaluation in June of 2009. Couldn't afford it. I put through the courts. I put the petition for the courts in form of paupers or a time payment plan, which was denied. Life goes on. I saw my kids every Sunday, and of course, to my ex-wife's convenience, when she went with a boyfriend to, I forget where it was, for 3 weeks, I watched my little son Anthony for 3 weeks straight in 2010. That's a violation of the court order. But it didn't matter to her. She put herself first before she put the benefit of the kids together. That's all right. That's all going to be hammered out. The court did not recognize this. When I became disabled in April 2012, my main concern was my back. My main concern was getting my Social Security benefits, and my main concern was for my dependent children for them to get part of my benefits, which they did, and they're getting now. Even though I only make $1,153 a month on my award letter, I was still had to pay $242 in child support out of that, and all my money that was retroed to me from 6 months went to my ex-wife in arrears. I got nothing. On October 29th, 2012, I finally got the report from Mr. Harold Dalton, who's a county seat behavioral health owner and social clinical worker, who does a lot of custody evaluations in the Delaware County Courthouse. October 17, 2012, to the Honorable Judge Higgins, Monroe County Court of Common Pleas, 610 Monroe Street, Sharpsburg, PA 18360. Dear Judge Higgins, this to advise you that Mr. Robert F. Sharon presented at our office on September 21st, 2012 for a mental health and substance abuse evaluation. He advised me that he had been mandated by the Honorable Arthur Zulik to receive a mental health and substance abuse evaluation, along with the mandate that he complete an anger management program. He came, excuse me, he came to the session appropriately dressed in clean and neat clothing. He arrived 10 minutes before the start of the session and was pleasant and cooperative throughout the time we were together. He was articulate and was able to express his thoughts and ideas easily. He was able to stay focused with no tangential thinking. His long and short-term memory appeared to be intact, and he was able to recall recent and past events. He was oriented to person, place, time, and purpose. His mood was appropriate. He was neither manic nor depressed. His motor activity during this session was appropriate. His judgments were also good. His cognitive ability was intact. There were no significant daily pattern disturbances, and that his sleep was normal, his appetite was normal, and his interactions with others has been normal. Mr. Sharon stated that he was born on August 19, 1955 in New York City. He spent the majority of his childhood and adolescence in New York City. Mr. Sharon noted that he was one of 4 children born to Mary Lopez and Raphael Lopez. He stated that during his youth he was physically and verbally abused by Raphael, his father, who was an anesthesiologist in New York City. He noted that he never felt close to his brother. He noted that he has limited memory of good times in the years that he was growing up. He feels that his relationship to his father contributes to his sense of abandonment and anger. His oldest sibling was Maria Keith, brother Raphael Stewart. The client Robert Sharon, who took his mother's maiden name due to his anger towards his father. His youngest sibling is Josephine Roma, now located in Ohio. Mr. Sharon describes the relationship with his siblings as distant. After their father left the family when he was age 13, his relationship to his mother and Uncle Russ, her brother, became extremely important. His uncle, who was a priest in a Catholic church, was always there for him, and he was the most significant male role model. He has fond memories of him. After his father left the home, he experienced no further abuse in his lifetime. Mr. Sharon met his wife in 1991 and married in 1996. Mr. Sharon had one previous marriage which ended in divorce in 1994. He described his marriage to Marion Moad was a happy one in the beginning, but deteriorated in 1998 after Marion had an affair with someone in the Mount Pocono area. Since that time, their relationship has been toxic on both sides to the detriment of their children. Regarding his substance abuse, Mr. Sharon stated that he first used alcohol at the age of 17 with friends, and he used up till July 18, 2011, and has been clean and sober since that date. He denies drinking alcoholically and that he has never had issues of control, and when he did drink, he always limited his intake to 2 to 3 gin and tonics over the course of an evening. He completed the Michigan alcohol screening test, in which he scored a 2, indicating no apparent problem. He also states that he has never been a binge drinker and has never experienced a blackout during his life where he could not remember activities of the previous day or evening when he had imbibed. He does not meet the criteria for alcohol dependence or alcohol abuse. He has no recurrent substance use resulting in a failure to fulfill major role obligations at work or at home. He has no criminal history such as DUI offenses that are alcohol related. He has no recurrent substance use in situations in which it was physically hazardous, such as operating machinery under the influence. He has no continued substance abuse that has exacerbated social or interpersonal problems. The only other substance that Mr. Sharon used was marijuana, which he started to use at age 17, used up until he was 40 years of age. He states he had not used marijuana in over 17 years. During the course of his attendance in counseling, he was given urine drug screens at random for the following substances: amphetamines, cocaine, opioids, marijuana, benzodiazepines, barbiturates, phencyclidine, oxycodone, methadone, methamphetamines. Both random tests were negative for all the above drugs and of abuse. He attended a total of 14 hours of individual and group counseling during the period of September 25th until October 17, 2012. Mr. Sharon's mental health was stable with no symptoms of any disorder. He admitted to having anger issues dating back to his childhood. He attended 8 hours of anger management on Saturday, October 6th, 2012, and was an active participant and completed the class successfully. It is my opinion that Mr. Sharon does not require further treatment. He has not had any problems while residing here in Delaware County, and most of his issues appear to be related to a toxic relationship with his ex-wife, Marion Moad. I have not had the opportunity to speak with her. Based on Mr. Sharon's input, there are certain serious co-parenting issues that remain unresolved. I do not believe that Mr. Sharon has anything but the best interest towards the welfare of his children. I'm not sure how the court will be able to resolve their custody issues given the difficulty he and his wife have had working together. Mr. Sharon has limited financial resources as he is on disability for COPD and a back injury. At the time of his last visit with me, he was residing with his mother in Drexel Hill, Pennsylvania. However, it is my understanding that it is his desire to relocate back into the community where his children reside so we can have time with them every week. Should you require any further information, please do not hesitate to call. Cordially, Harold S. Dalton, Jr., MSW, LCSW, CADC, licensed clinical social worker, certified alcohol and drug counselor. Another one, the family psychologist, Kimberly DeBoer, psychologist, 134 Broad Street, Strasburg, PA 18360. I think the court got this in, should have been in sometime in February, and I pushed for this. I kept on calling her up for the letter. Court of Common Pleas in Monroe County, 43rd Judicial District, Commonwealth of PA, Daniel M. Corvalin, Esquire, that's the custody conciliator, Strasburg, PA 19360. It's actually should be 18360. To whom it may concern, there were a total of 10 visits with the members of the Sharon family from 11/29/2012 to 1/24/2013. The initial intakes were held with Ms. Marion Sharon, 11/29/12, Mr. Robert Sharon, 12/3/12, and the children, 12/11/12. The following family therapy sessions consisted of Mr. Robert Sharon, Allison Sharon, and Anthony Sharon. Bobby Sharon refused to enter the initial family therapy session and chose not to attend any of the following sessions scheduled. That's in violation of the court order. My son. Where's it contempt against your mother? During the initial family therapy session, there were tension and feelings of anger that were identified between Mr. Sharon and his daughter Allison. Allison was able to express her emotions surrounding her father's behaviors and how his behaviors affect her and her siblings. Mr. Sharon appeared to take responsibility for his behaviors and apologized to Allison for some of his role in this situation. Throughout future sessions, a respectful relationship between them was observed, and Allison eventually decided to contact the father throughout the week via cell phone, text, or Facebook. Overall, Allison is smart, logical 13-year-old female who is able to make mature decisions based on personal observations and opinions. She approximately verbalized her needs from her father and was able to express emotions effectively. Communication strategies of addressing situations and feelings as they occur and the art of listening were focused sessions. Improved communication, less tension, and weekly phone calls were reported towards the end of treatment by both Allison and her father. During all the therapy appointments, Anthony entered and exited sessions with hugs and affection towards his father. He often stated, "I miss you. When am I going to see you?" Anthony continues not to understand why he cannot visit his father, but reports he would like to. Anthony denied any problems with his father. Anthony's insight to situation is limited. Throughout sessions, Anthony was easily distracted, difficult to remain focused to conversation, and attention-seeking at times. Is where I disagree. Mr. Sharon had difficulty managing some of Anthony's behaviors in session, as he was tangential and had difficulty staying on task. There are some behavioral concerns regarding Anthony that were addressed with Mr. Sharon during therapy sessions, as well as Ms. Sharon outside of sessions. Symptoms of being easily distracted, restlessness, inattentiveness, and hyperactivity were observed throughout sessions with Anthony. He often had difficulty focusing to topic and remunerated at times, specifically over bedtime routines and house rules at his father's home. Mr. Sharon appeared to minimize the severity of Anthony's behaviors when brought up in session and does not feel that an intervention is needed. Upon speaking with Ms. Sharon in January, there was a psychiatric evaluation scheduled in February 2013 to address these behaviors, as they are reported to be problematic both at home and school. Parenting strategies of structural and discipline on visitations were discussed with Mr. Sharon. Communication skills of listening versus being right were discussed to utilize not only his children, but other people as well. It was brought to Mr. Sharon's attention that his disregard for authority impacts how he is perceived, and that minor changes in behaviors may have a change for future outcomes. He was able to verbally apologize to his children for his behaviors with his anger. He provided some positive, insightful statements throughout sessions, and he was receptive to feedback and observational statements provided by undersigned. In the future, Mr. Hill may benefit from learning about ADHD interventions to effectively interact with his son on visits. Both Allison and Anthony report missing having contact with their father and wanting to have a relationship with him. Allison reported wanting to have visitation scheduled with her father. She verbalized wanting to continue contact with her father as long as there is open communication. There is no negative talk about family members, and her father attempts to reduce the number of court petitions, court issues he pursues as it interrupts her functioning and mood. Anthony verbalizes desire to visit his father every weekend, although was not in agreement to the house rules that were outlined in session. Both of the children report feeling safe with their father and had no concerns of safety in sessions. At this time, the family is no longer attending family therapy sessions as a treatment goal to facilitate and restoring the relationship between father and children has been achieved. All members were informed to contact the office if future appointments are needed. If you have any further questions, kindly contact me at the number. Sincerely, Kimberly DeBoer, licensed psychologist. So they feel safe with me. My disregard for authority, I don't know where that came in, because absolutely there was no mention of that. I never mentioned that. I never mentioned any disregard for authority. The only thing that she didn't appreciate was that she didn't appreciate the fact that I called her Kim instead of Dr. DeBoer. And when she mentioned that to me, I then called her Dr. DeBoer. That's it. As far as the disregard for authority, maybe she was rehearsed by court personnel, my ex-wife, on that fact before I even went in and saw her. Okay? I don't like that, because that makes the whole thing tainted. Okay? If you're going to bring me in on something, bring me on pure, fairly. If you have questions to ask me. I'll tell you the truth. That's it. This is gonna be too long. This is ridiculous. So, the next one is going to be Dr. A. Abruzzi, Jr., psychologist, and 1320 North 5th Street, Strasburg. That I'm going to take up on my next video. But the county seat behavioral health and the Dr. DeBoer, the child psychologist, say there's no issues with me. The kids miss me. Harold Dalton says I'm looking in the best interest of my children. This one says the kids aren't afraid of me, but I still can't see my children. And why? Why? Why is that, Judge Williamson? Why are you denying me the right to see my children? Why? For what purpose? No evidence? Only allegations by a pissed off woman. by a woman that wants me out of the picture so she can live a happy life. I don't get it. Why? Because of my website? The one I shut down July 31st, 2011? Still hammering me, huh? I got news for you. You violated the law, sir. And you know what? You violated the law, and you're going to have to answer to that. You will answer to that, Judge Williamson, Judge Higgins. You will answer to that in the Supreme Court. And there's something else I'm not going to discuss at this time. You will answer that. These are my kids. I love them. You took away my legal right to my children. No abuse. No nothing. You have nothing. You have absolutely nothing. You hurt me. You wanted to hurt me? You did. You did. You did. Every day of my life, since November 9th, 2012, you got to answer for that, Judge Williamson. You got to answer for that, Judge Higgins. You got to answer that to that Attorney Corvalon, whatever your name is. And you got to answer to that Kimberly Fedregon, my favorite gal in that courthouse. You work as a PFA attorney at the courthouse. You also happen to be my ex-wife's attorney in this. I don't know how you pulled that off, but you know what? It's going to backfire. It's going to backfire. It's going to backfire. And you are going to have to answer to that. You, along with your friend the judges, and your friend Dan Corvalon, and the court staff, whoever was involved. Good luck. Good luck. You're going to need it. You're going to need it. This is Bob Sharon, once again, and thank you all for listening. Just what I would do now, all you people, I would put in your retirement papers before this comes about. That's all I gotta say. Run for the hills, boys. Run for the hills. Bob Sharon, I'm done. For now. Goodbye.